Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, Helen. It's nice to be with you in your home. Is that an animal right there behind you in the
Yes,
parking light? Is it a
that is,
cat?
yes, that is Sophia.
Oh, she's beautiful. Hello, Sophia. Sophia.
Sophia.
Look at that. What a pretty girl. Oh, I love that.
Can you
Wish
say
I-
hello to Vicki? Can you say hi? I think that's as good as it's going to get.
Beautiful. I can't have a cat because my grandson Joel's allergic. So
Oh,
Monday though, when he goes to college.
oh, yeah. She's like, what's up?
Beautiful.
Yeah, she left a thumbtack in my shoe one time. So yeah.
No, what had you done to her to make her do that?
I don't know. That's a good question. She likes to play. She likes to get up on my board and everything, and she'll knock the thumbtacks down if I have anything there.
Oh, so she didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, she was just hiding it.
I got you.
Like she hides everything under the fridge.
Right. Because yeah, I've always heard that cats will wait and they'll pay you back. You don't know when it will come, but it will come.
Yes, usually in the form of a hairball somewhere.
How pretty.
But so tell me a little bit about yourself, about your background. You said when we were talking, you used to sell carpet with your family.
Yeah, my dad played football, professional football for the Steelers, and he worked for the FBI after that. And then he got shot at, and then he quit the FBI, and then he just became like a carpet salesman. He never could figure out what he really wanted to do, so he just started selling carpet when I was a little baby, and then he sold carpet for other people till I was 19, and then he opened his own store with my mom and I, and we thought he would go out of business immediately, and it turned out to be like we opened it up in Oceanside, California, and it turned out to be like the perfect place to open a discount carpet store, and we sold seconds and irregulars, so every carpet had streaks and lines and flaws, holes, and it was a terrible place. It was filthy, and I never wore shoes, and my parents fought all the time, and there was a liquor store next door, and my parents would like start drinking every afternoon, and then the big soft carpet rolls were so inviting, they would just lay down and go to sleep. And then in the morning, and they never like locked the door, in the morning when customers would come in, my parents would be asleep on the rolls. This is like often. And then they'd come in and they go, "Are you open?" And mom and dad would just get up and go, "Oh yeah, how can we help you?" Like nothing. And it was just, they actually built a wall between their desks because they threw shit at each other all day long. One time my dad got hit with a bunch of Cove-based samples, cut his eye. I had to take him to the hospital. Yeah, and then that night he called his friend who's a contractor and built a brick wall between their desks to stop the objects. It was 20 years of insanity, but we were really successful. We made a bunch of money. And then, but I just always knew that, as fun as it was selling carpet that's irregulars and, and working with my insane family and myself, I mean, and it was crazy. I just knew that no matter how much money I would make, taking it over, and it was kind of expected I would just take it over. And we had a couple of stores by then. But I said, no, I don't want to do it. I'd started stand-up and I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Let's sell the store. You retire with the money, and I will just go off with nothing. And I jumped out into the world after doing stand-up for 3 or 4 years. And Mitzi had taken me out of the Comedy Store, but I was over 42 years old by then. And I started when I was like 40-ish. So nobody in LA would take me on, but Mitzi loved me. And I didn't know it was a bad idea. And so I bought a trailer for my daughters and I to move into because my marriage was falling apart. And I'd been living in the garage anyway in our house. And so it was a nice garage, Helen. It was beautiful, at drywall. But anyway, I bought a trailer for my daughters and I to move into, and just, started just doing stand-up, and we really struggled. But my daughters went along with it. They were really great about it. And and then I won Funniest Mom in America. After a few years, we got like 50,000 from that. And then I started getting work doing more like fundraisers, and that paid a little more, but it was still, a rough way to raise a couple of kids in terms of money, but we were really happy. And, my daughters tell me now that they're really glad that we lived the life that we had. And, and because I was so unsuccessful, they both got through college without any money. They got all these low, free government money. So, but they're happy. And I'm just so grateful that I got to do it and have had so much fun, doing it and I did it for like 20 years before AGT came. And then when that happened, just like everything just, changed, because millions of people see you, and it doesn't matter if the industry that said I was too fat and too old and all that, it's like a way of bypassing them. So, it's just been that dream that I had, that I get to keep doing stand-up. I didn't know how that would happen. I just hoped it would, but then that AGT thing just really was a miracle for me. So I'm just so grateful for that, and surprised, but super grateful.
Was it because I'm surprised, I guess a lot of people would probably be surprised, too fat and too old. I mean, that sounds odd. I would think that in comedy, especially, they wouldn't be going by looks so much.
It has changed a lot. I was doing a joke about it for a while, like, 20 years ago. I mean, like, Margaret Cho had a horrible time when they put her on TV and they said, your face is too big, and so, 20 years ago, it really, really was rigid. It was super rigid. I mean, it's still a boys' club in LA, 100%, but it's I'm going to say not 100%, 90%. Women are getting in a better shake in terms of who's controlling things and things, I think. And also body sizes are changing. I was doing this thing for a while where before, if you went on an audition for a fat actress, there would just be like, it would just look like there would be 20 women. And now if you're looking for a fat actress, there's probably 100. And you see just a lot of like people like, Melissa McCarthy, and, just a lot of big women got in and were unashamedly showing their bodies, and there's so many now, but that was back, honestly, up until maybe 10 years ago, that just wasn't the case. And agents would say it right to your face. They would tell me right to my face. I mean, even like Bud, who owned the Improv, this guy told him, after I'd first started, I was working for a club he was running in a casino, Pachanga, and the manager called Bud and goes, man, Vicki Barbolak is so funny, you got to see her. And he said, show me your picture. And then this guy Leonard, who was the manager, showed him my picture, and Bud just went, oh, forget it. And that was Bud Friedman. And Mitzi was like the one person who was always like, she didn't care what people looked like. She cared how funny they were. Anyway, it just never really bothered me. I didn't really care. I just assumed that's how it was. And it is much better now. There's a whole bunch of different, I mean, I watch TV now and I'm like, they're looking for people that look like everybody. And it's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's still great to be gorgeous and beautiful. And also young women comics today. There's so many beautiful ones. Before, like Phyllis Diller was really pretty, so she had to ugly herself up. I mean, so now it's a way better time for everybody. And except it's a really rough time for a lot of people. So but in terms of there's progress being made, yeah. But back then it was just flat out to your face. No. You're crazy. There's not. So I just struggle now to just kind of keep going, oh, well, sometimes people go, oh, you can't do this because you're this. And I'll go, okay, you're probably right. And then I have to think about it before I go, well, let me try anyway.